Hi, Brian Young here again, with a product manager for video for Vistek. I'm here with actually two cameras, the PXW X160 and the PXW X180. Now, as I say, I have a 180 here, and I'm going to summarize with a couple of the differences between the 160 and the 180 at the end of the video. So the first thing is the lens. Now, the lens on this camera is brilliant, where it has a full 3-ring lens with the focus dial on the front, zoom, and manual iris, and then the front zoom or front focus lever, it can actually move back and forth like this. So the front focus lever actually moves back and forth. So when you move it backwards, it's in a full manual focus mode, and when you put it forward, the camera's in full autofocus. Because the lens is a full parfocal, you can do repeatable zooms and still hit your focus marks. As I said, the lens is actually a 25 times lens, but this actually has also what's called clear image zoom on it, which can actually double that. So you can get out to almost a 50 times zoom on this camera. Pretty amazing. And with the image stabilization that's built into the camera, again, very amazing. You can zoom in very, very far and get some brilliant images out of it. Now, the next thing that's really, really important to know about this camera is the camera actually supports different types of media. So in the back of the camera, there are 2 slots, so we can put in 2 different types of media, or 2 cards at the same time. But the camera can actually hold or work with 3 different types of media. So the first is S/S cards. The camera can also, and comes supplied with, an adapter for XQD cards. Now, if you're not familiar with these cards, they're slightly smaller than the S/S cards, so about half the size, a little bit less than half the size, but have similar speeds. So it supports all of the record speeds of the camera at these higher quality modes, as well as has a higher speed ingest or transfer into your nonlinear systems. You can also use another adapter here I have, which is an SD card adapter. Most of the other layout, the dial, all the dials and buttons on the side of the camera, where the mic mounts, the fact that it's got the little flip out LCD, the zoom rocker on the side of the camera, all of those things are going to feel really familiar. On the back of the camera, we have the outputs here on the back of the camera. So the camera has both SDI and HDMI outputs on the back of the camera. Another great thing about this camera is that it has Wi-Fi capability. And what that means is, with the little Wi-Fi dongle installed here in the camera, we can control the camera remotely. And that can be done with either an iOS type device or an Android type device. You can download an app from the web, and that app will actually support streaming video from the camera. You can remotely control many of the camera's functions, and you can actually even upload videos through the web if you want. Up in the handle, there's actually a GPS receiver. So in the 180, when you have the GPS turned on, can record in the metadata of the file the GPS location of where the video was recorded. And you can use that geotagging to be able to find and sort through clips using software in post. Another thing that the camera has is, you'll notice over here is that there's actually another card slot on the back of the camera. So on the 180, this extra card slot is here. It is not on the 160. And this card slot, we can actually insert a separate SD card, and on that card, we can record H.264 proxy video, and we can select the bit rate up to about 10 megabits per second, or down in very low bit rate modes. And what's nice is we could actually even set up through the Wi-Fi that as you're shooting, those proxy clips can also be echoed to the web if you're Wi-Fi connected, and loaded on a server, so your producer could scan those clips, scan through the clips and make sure that you're bringing home the right footage. Or you can use the proxies to edit with in low res if you're using lower powered computer to edit with or whatever, and then edit and match back to the high res clips. So again, the major difference between a 160 and 180, GPS, Wi-Fi capability, and the fact that you have this extra card slot on the 180. So if you're looking for a very powerful, fully featured 3 CMOS type camera that gives you SDI output and has also the flexibility of multiple different record codecs at your disposal, either the 160 or the PXW-180 with the addition of Wi-Fi and proxy and GPS are the cameras to look for.